People come to Sandals now and they think, oh, it's a big church and it's always been this way. And they don't realize, man, that it was always, 50-50 whether we were going to make it or not.
In 1997, as a youth pastor in Huntington Beach, California, Pastor Matt Brown shared a dream with his boss to plant a church where people could be real with themselves, God, and others. He left that meeting without a job and a check for 2 weeks severance. Matt, along with his wife Tammy and their infant daughter, decided it was an opportunity to reconnect with friends from their college days at Cal Baptist University and start the church that they had always dreamed about. That summer, Matt and Tammy met in their living room with 8 other people to begin the process of planting what is now Sandals Church, a place where people could be real, sharing the ugliest parts of themselves, and be loved and accepted. How beautiful are the feet that bring the good news became the founding verse. And as God brought more people who connected with his vision of authenticity, Sandals Church grew.
Literally, God has just blessed this ministry, blessed this movement, and we just have seen thousands of lives that were changed because authenticity allowed God to change my life and change my life and my relationship with my wife and my relationship with my kids and my friends, and it's been absolutely incredible.
Thousands of churches across our nation are struggling. Many each year end up closing their doors forever. You may have seen one of these churches in your city. Some windows may be boarded up, weeds are growing tall, and there is no longer the laughter of kids playing tag on the playground each Sunday morning. And when a church has to close its doors forever, these properties are being sold off to become condos, office buildings, and pizza parlors. And although people need places to live and work, not to mention a really good deep dish, what people don't think about is that the property from that point on is forever not a church any longer. That church no longer helps those in need, no longer provides care to the community, no longer teaches children about Jesus, and will never, ever again welcome back a prodigal, baptize a new believer, serve their local community, or share the good news of the gospel. And it is happening over and over again all over our country. How does this happen? Pastors retire and there are no longer leaders to take their place. The church stops having an impact on their community. Families stop attending, so the attendance and giving plummet. When attendance and giving decrease, ministries designed to reach that community and improve the property are cut. The buildings begin to fall apart. New families don't come. Kids and teens lose interest. People stop coming to faith. The gospel stops being proclaimed, and the church ultimately has to close forever. There is a solution: the ROGO Foundation. ROGO stands for Real with Ourselves, God, and Others, and we created the ROGO Foundation to ensure that the local church thrives for generations to come. We merge with struggling churches so they won't have to close their doors. We then remodel and upgrade the facilities to bring the property back to life. And all the while, we're training effective leaders in our leadership school and through our campus pastor residency program to step in so that the church will grow and thrive and serve their community for generations to come.
So this week at Sandals Church is Giving Tuesday, and this is where we ask you, whether you're a part of Sandals Church or you just love us and are praying for us, to join us in our mission to plant churches. This is the heart of God. Jesus is the Savior of the world, but listen to me, the church is the hope of the world. We can't connect people to God if we can't connect them to His church. And so let me just say, this last weekend, I got to spend my Sunday at the last 2 churches that you raised money for Giving Tuesday. So 2 years ago, it was Azusa, and last year it was Anaheim. And I just have to tell you, for those of you who gave, man, it was so amazing to be with people who have been blessed because you gave. I'm sitting in those buildings that were falling apart and almost abandoned, and now there's a local church connected together. At our Azusa campus last week, I got to meet the mayor pro tem of the city of Azusa, who is worshiping at the church you helped us start. So think about what God's going to do in Santa Rosa. Think about this community that is ripe for the gospel. There are not many churches there. We already have the building. We already have the people. It is a debt-free property. But what we need to do is raise some funds to upgrade the facility, to hire our pastors, to plant them in that city, to minister to those people, and you can be a part of that. So here's the big ask. We're trying to raise $500,000. And you say, oh my gosh, that's a lot of money. Man, that won't buy you a condo in Santa Rosa. Okay, so that's the amount of money that we're trying to raise to start a church, to refurbish an entire campus. Think about it, worship center, Sunday schools, classroom space, places for people to connect, places for people to park, places for people to come. So I think that we are very, very frugal with the money that you give, and we do the most that we can with it. So help us this Giving Tuesday to raise $500,000. And it doesn't matter if you're giving thousands or you're giving tens or you're giving $1. We all want to be a part of this. God doesn't call us to do more than we can. He gives us this money to bless others. And remember, Jesus said, it's better to give than it is to receive. And this is our opportunity to share in that blessing as Christians and say, I'm going to bless a church I may never go to. I may never be a part of, but I know that town needs Jesus. And so I'm going to give a portion of the money that Jesus has blessed me with to bless that town with a church called Sandals, where there's a place where people can be real with themselves, real with each other. And this is most important, to become real with God. So join us this Tuesday to raise $500,000 to start Sandals Church, Santa Rosa.